واضح تمام؟ واضح؟ لو يحتاج يجيب لكم الهيدفون.
تمام سر.
واضح استاذ، جدا واضح.
ممتاز. In the previous lecture, we talked about some techniques, some tips, or some ways that the teacher can follow inside the classroom. Every one of us, all of us as teachers, you as teachers, have to have some techniques, some ways that you have to follow inside classroom. You as a teacher, you have to plan for everything. You have to plan. You have to have two plans. A plan that's in your mind and a plan that's written. Okay, a plan written. I mean, here you prepare for this plan. In this plan, you write the objectives, for example, aims, vocabularies, language, what to do, how to ask students. This is number one, which is very important, that you have to have a plan. You have to prepare it at home and then go to class. Number two, you have to what? You have to also plan in your mind. You have to know how to deal with different problems. Of course, teachers, all of us teachers, we face problems inside the classroom. And this is something natural. We face problems inside the classroom. So we as teachers, we have to know how to deal with these problems, how to deal with student behavior. So we have to have a plan for this. You should not deal with things immediately without any thinking, randomly, but you need know what to do if I face such a problem, what to do if I see certain situation, if I see something, what to do. You have to know. Okay, this is very important. That's why we always say that the teachers should have a plan. If you don't have a plan, students will have a plan for you. If you don't plan, the students will what plan you, will make a plan for you. This is what I mean. So it is very important. You know, teaching inside the classroom is not easy. At the same time, it's not difficult. It's not difficult. Why? Why it is not easy, not difficult? If you know the methods, if you know the techniques, if you know the ways, and of course with experience, it will not be difficult for you. But if you don't know the techniques, the different ways, the tips, okay, how to deal with students' behavior, it will be a problem for you. So this is very important. How to deal with the problems inside the classroom, how to deal with the students. This is very, very important for you as teachers. So when teachers come to class, they bring different things with them. They bring different things, okay? They bring different things with them to the class, ways, techniques, okay? And what they have to do inside the class, one of them is that they need to make enjoyment. They have, or it is important to make enjoyment inside the classroom. How can teachers make enjoyment inside the classroom? There is misconception, okay? There is misconception. I mean, idea that is wrong. This is what I mean by misconception. An idea that's wrong, that some teachers, when they want to make fun, when they want to make joke, when they want to make delight inside the classroom, they try to mock, to make fun, or to laugh, or to prank students. You know, prank يعني ينصب. some teachers prank students. They go, for example, they look at which students who is simple, who is naive, who is quiet. Okay, so they go to this student, they look at him, and they start pranking, mocking him in order to make the students laugh at this students. So please, you as teachers have to, must, you must avoid this kind of humor, this kind of irony inside the classroom. It is wrong to mock your students. You will ruin the students. Okay, if you do so, it means that you are destroying this student. He will be in a bad situation. He will lose his personality. He will lose his charisma. So you as teacher, you should pay attention to this, and you should deal all your students equally. You should respect them all. You should appreciate them all. You should show intimacy, love to all your students. Don't mock someone. Don't laugh at someone. You as teachers, when you want to laugh, when you want your students to laugh, all of you try to laugh at something else, at a situation or something else, but don't laugh at one student. This is bad. You may have seen this situation when you were students, or when you have been students, because you are still students, when you have been students from past to now. Okay, or you may have seen it when you go to school now. When you are going to school, you may see such kind of things, that some teachers mock some students, try to tell some jokes at some students. This is completely wrong. So how can I make my class enjoyable? How can I make enjoyment inside the classroom? So how you as teachers, for example, for me as teachers, only I can make by mocking students, or there are other ways. And as you know that teaching process is serious. Teaching process is serious. It is in need of what? It is in need of us to break this seriousness. Sometimes, I mean, as I said, that the mood is serious, the atmosphere is serious, everything inside the classroom is serious. Sometimes, for some teachers, need to break this, need to change the mood, need to change the atmosphere by doing certain things, and this is very important. And this another point, I want to talk about this situation before giving you a turn to talk about this, uh, which is related to what you do inside the classroom, how to plan a lesson. Uh, Yesterday, I went to the market. Went to the shops, some shops that sell books. I want a book for first intermediate school. Okay, I wanted a book, activity book, and also guide. Okay, so when I went to the shops, what I found is what is students or teachers book, or students book, right? Students book and activity book. What about guide? I asked them, I want guide. They say, we don't have guide. I say, why? They say the teachers do not ask for guide. They don't want guide. When they come to us, they just want activity, and they want just a book. I go to another shop, another shop, another shop. I ask them about teachers, not people in general. Okay, I'm asking about teachers. guide. Teachers come to you, some say yes. So what about guide? They said no. Told me that they don't ask for guide. One of them, we spoke for 2 or 3 minutes. He said that I told the teacher that uh, why you don't want guide. One of the sellers, a person who sells the book in the market, Duania market, he said that he said I asked him, why don't you buy guide, teacher's guide? The teacher said, we don't need it. We don't need guide. Okay, we don't need guide. Okay. بعد ما سجل غياب يمتى قالوا نغلق الطلاب بعد ما سجل نهاية المحاضرة سجل غياب. We don't need some teacher. He said that this teacher said, I don't need guide. He said that, why you don't need the guide? Why, I mean, the book here, guide. Why don't you need guide? He said, I have experience. I don't need it. I don't need it. I can develop my students by depending on myself. I told this man, this seller, I told him, this teacher thinks that he is guide. He is guide. Okay? He thinks that he knows everything. So he or she does not need guide because he is know-it-all. He is guide and God. Both of them. He is guide and what? And God. No one can convince him, tell him that this is wrong or right. Okay? So I told him that he thinks that he is better than everyone. And I told him that instead of developing the students, he is destroying them. Why? Because he just depends on himself. He thinks that he is better than everyone, and this is completely wrong. You as teachers, you have to have guide, you have to have plan, you have to do, when you want to do everything inside the classroom, everything should be according to plan, everything should be arranged inside the classroom. So when I am inside the classroom, how can I break this mood? How can I break seriousness inside the classroom? How can I change the mood inside the classroom? What shall I do as a teacher? You know that seriousness, being serious, or seriousness is not something that is preferable all the time. Yes, you as teachers, sometimes you need to be serious. And sometimes you need to be what? You need to be kind. Sometimes you need to be lovely. Sometimes you need to be friendly. Sometimes you need to be firm. You need to be strict, tough, hard. Okay? You as if you have all the qualities. You should not be naive, wish over inside the classroom. No. You should have all these characteristics inside the classroom because you are a teacher, because you are the master of the class. You control the class. All the students, imagine that 50 students inside the classroom are looking at you. Imagine. So how can you deal with the situation? How can you deal with your information? How can you deal with the knowledge you have? Oh, okay, no problem. How can you deal with situation? How can you deal with the problems? How can you make fun inside the classroom? It is not something easy. And as I always say this, like a player, for example, imagine that Cristiano Ronaldo, we know that he is the best player in the world. Messi number 2. So Cristiano Ronaldo, when Cristiano goes to the stadium, to the pitch, okay, he has a lot. He can score by his head, by his every part of his body. but sometimes we see him inside this area, inside the pitch. Sometimes we see he does not score. He does nothing inside this. The teacher is the same. Sometimes we see him doing well. So you as teachers, maybe you have a lot, but when you go to the class, you may not present everything. You may not do well inside the classroom. So you will start blaming yourself. Oh, why I have done this? Why I'm not doing so well? So this is because of not planning well. Okay, because of not organizing, because you didn't organize your lesson, what to do inside the classroom, how to deal with different situation, how to observe others and get benefit from them, to talk with other teachers on all these matters. So we as teachers, we need to break this seriousness. How to break this seriousness? I will listen to you. I'll just give you this small introduction about what's going on inside the classroom. Why? Because classroom is very important. Maybe one of you may ask why you are focusing on what's going on inside the classroom. Because classroom is very important. What goes on inside the classroom, what's happening inside the classroom is very important. You as teacher, everything, everything you are responsible. I mean, you are responsible for everything. Okay, so everything happened inside the classroom, you are responsible for. You are responsible for everything. You have burden on your shoulder. Okay, you have burden, responsibility on your shoulder. It's very important. It is not something easy. It is not like eating and whether you eat or not. Okay, it is something obligatory, something you have to do it, and you have to do it well. So now I want to listen from you. What are the techniques, the ways, tips that can make the lecture enjoyable, make fun inside the classroom? I want practical things, things that are applicable, that we as teachers can apply inside the classroom for the sake, for the benefit of our students. And you know, if you develop your students are developed, of course, their future will be good. We will start with Ali Bahar. Yes, Ali Bahar.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
For me, discover new things together. It's much more fun for both parties when students and teachers learn new things together.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay. Yes.
okay, continue. Number two, be crazy, but show you care. Let loose, laugh, make fun of yourself. Don't worry about sacrificing your authority.
So what do you mean by be crazy?
But
Teacher.
show you care.
Uh-huh.
But show you care. I find this in an essay, I think.
Yeah, so you have to be crazy, but what?
Show you care.
Uh-huh. So you have to, as if here, you be crazy, but you have to be careful. Okay? Not to be crazy doing things that are abnormal inside. Oh, crazy shouting, or no, it should not be like clown. مو تكون clown مهرج. Of course, be crazy in a matter that you are motivate, you make motivation, okay? Enthusiasm inside the classroom. Maybe in this is the meaning of this word. Yes, go on. If you have another.
Share your passion with the students. Show students how you have fun. Passion is contagious. If you are having good time, chances are your students will too.
Okay, good. Yes.
Avoid going through the motions. Make an effort to be fresh. Try new things. Take risks. Make
Good.
mistakes.
Yes, good. One by one. Yes, try new things. Okay, don't do only one thing. this is
Take
uh,
risks.
yes. So for teachers, you as teachers, you have to be careful. Don't only follow one way, okay? Or follow on one way, one tone, and continue on this. Try to change from time to time. It is necessary. It is important to change. Okay? If you just follow the same way, the same way, the same way, the same way, it will be boring. It will be boring for students. So try
So
to
I have a
use,
question, sir.
and you have to make it risky. Yes, you need to make sometimes you need to make risks unless you have experience. But at the beginning of your career, don't make risks because you don't know. You need experience. You need to follow the plan step by step, step by step. You will what you will have in the future the ability, the chance to make some risks, but it is not easy to make some risks. You need later on. Yes, I have. You say I have
Uh,
question.
I read in some material make mistakes. So why some teachers make mistakes in a classroom and enjoy the moment in the same time?
Sometimes maybe this is sometimes when for example you want to pronounce some words here
Yes.
as if you want your students laugh. Okay, so it's as if you are trying to play with words. If you are playing with words, for example, in order to make fun. For example, you said, for example, I used this once upon a time. I said, for example, apologize, apologize, apologize. You see, this word apologize. When I pronounce it, I pronounce it as apologize. Okay, so to make fun, maybe to make fun for students. So you may do this intentionally. You may do this not randomly, purposely, intentionally. You know, for making fun inside the classroom. But I don't like following this way. You may want to use it once in a year or twice. Not every day you make the same mistake with pronouncing such words because the students will laugh at you. Okay.
Okay. And the last, don't just tell them information, clock it into mystery.
Yes, of course. Not on information, information, information. Sometimes you need to break, as I said, to break the mood by doing certain things, certain activities. I want to listen from others, and then I will comment about certain points. Yeah, thank you, Alam.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Yes, Amir.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
First of all, make the specific topic looks like general topic. Compare with what students love to talk about, something they know, like football or movies or life experience. Take
Mm.
them to their high ground, to their comfort zone. Don't be isolated. Make them feel you are with them in the same page, in the same planet. That will help them to understand, and the upshot will be great.
Mm.
Number
Okay.
two, don't be like a robot. By only
Mhm.
follow, by only follow what's inside the
Instruction.
box.
Yeah, so
Show,
yeah, don't be just like a robot following
yes,
instructions. Okay, one by one. Of course, we should not forget when we say follow the plan, you have to follow a plan. But you as teacher, of course, you have experience and you have to be creative. Creativity is very important for teacher.
yes, sir.
You have to be creative. Okay, you come to the class and you have to be creative to know how to make situation different, how to change the mood, how to teach. Of course, don't be a robot. Just read this, read this, read this, and you're finished. No, you are human.
Yes. Show to them your personality while you show to them your lesson. And always remember, as a teacher, you should know the rules to break the rules. Think outside the
Very good,
box.
yes. This is good
Be,
point. Yes, this is very important. You
yes,
yes. So as if here you want when you want to break the rules, you have to know the rules. This is what you mean?
yes, sir. To
Okay.
make a new rules. When you break it, that means a new
You
things you
know the
create.
rules. So here you know the rules. You have rules. You know them.
Yes,
You are familiar with the rules inside the classroom. So now you what? You start what breaking the rules. You
yes,
break them in a creative way. In a
yeah,
creative way. Okay, not in
yes,
random way. So as if here when you break these rules because it because in a way that's creative, as if as Amir said that you will create new rules.
mhm,
Yes.
yes. Think outside the box. Be creative. Tell them the lesson like you're telling a story. Let them feel as if they are gathering around the fire while you are telling your story with create suspense without any boring moment. Don't
Yes.
forget make a joke.
Yeah, this is what we talked about, that you should be creative when you
Yes,
talk to your students. You should be not boring, should be interesting. You have to make
yes.
much more effort to make everything interesting inside the classroom. Yes.
And don't forget to make a joke. Joke is very important. It is turning point of atmosphere, and you should know the good time for joke. Jokes give the student a breathing space to take the pressure off. Good time for a joke when be unexpected. Sometimes it is message means don't worry, everything is okay. It's the same feeling when you are in when your doctor tell you a joke while you're scared. It is gonna shift the situation. And sometimes jokes help you to send your aggressive message like indirect threat to create the balance.
Yes, this is very good point that you have to tell joke, but you tell joke every time and every time and every place or what?
No, sir. In a specific time,
So
when
here, good, great. So here, this is very important. When you want to tell a joke inside the classroom, you have to know when
yes,
and where inside the classroom. When in the middle, for example, at the end of class. Okay, and when you want to tell a joke, what kind of joke you would like to tell? Yes, who can answer me this question? How can you tell them a joke? And do you tell them joke every day, every week? Yes. أمير بعدين نرجع تكملين. But just answer this question. Who can answer this question about joke? Yes, Khadija.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Khadija.
He meant by joke, not joke, always the same joke about, uh, we can say, our life. We can give them specific joke about, maybe about the same material, same subject. Because when we say this joke, uh, this joke stay in their minds.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
and if I have time after, as a teacher, after the class, when I give them the class material, I have any joke about our life, or their life, or
You,
interesting
you tell
things.
them every day.
Uh, Not every day,
Hmm. Why?
uh, because they will. I lose something. I can say my respect in the classroom, because this teacher always joke, always fun.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
I have. Yes,
yes.
yes.
At a specific time, just like you when if it was connected with the subject, just like you
Mhm.
when tell us a story about the library when you when you went to buy a book of God, and and you tell him he is a guide and the God.
Mhm.
It's connected with the subject.
Mhm. Very good,
Yes.
Mustafa. Very good. Yes, Mustafa. Mustafa Abbas.
Yes. Want me to enumerate the rest of the points
No,
or
no,
let's
Mustafa
do?
Abbas. Do you want to add about this? You raise your hand, or you don't know? We don't want to add.
The rest, I just want to say that there is specific time to tell the joke and should be connected to the topic that you are talking about. And when
Yeah.
you saw that there is, you should observe the faces of your students.
Yes,
They will
good.
get boring. They are getting boring of your lecture, so you try to make this joke to to make the stress less.
Yes, good. Sajjad Ali.
I think the time of the joke should not be something repeated every week because it's better to be unexpected by students. And
Aha. Right.
yes, yes, the
This
type
is
of
good
joke should
point.
be something. Yes,
This is very good point. Should be unexpected.
yes. The type of joke should be something easy to understand, something students understand well, like related to a football player, like a similar situation happens, like you say to a student, you remind me of of Messi when a certain incident happened to him, or something about a game, a video game, or a social media, something students understand. Should be easy for them to understand.
Yes, thank you so much. So it is very important when you want to tell a joke. First, it should be related to topic to the things that you are explaining. This is number one, and it is also okay to tell joke even out of the class. I mean, out of the book. Maybe at the end of your lecture, you want to tell a joke. You want to tell us a situation, funny situation in the middle of the class. It is sometimes okay, not all the time. If all the time, some teachers they want to be lovely, to be friendly to students. So they what? They do this. They try to make jokes all the time. Every day they make a new joke, a new joke, a new joke. There will be joker. Okay, there will be jokers. And don't be jokers. If you are jokers, okay, if you are jokers, students will not laugh at the joke, not laugh because of the joke. Why? Sometimes you don't know how to tell the joke. Yeah, the way that you tell a joke. Sometimes the joke is beautiful, but you do not know. مثلا اكو فد واحد, there's someone program مو اكو فد واحد program. Sometimes we see some persons, some people do not, some jokers, because those are jokers. Some of them do not, the joke is good, but they do not know how to tell the joke. So the students will not laugh because of the joke, but they will laugh at you. Okay, and some of them, they, you know, that they are teenagers, they are young, they will laugh loudly, especially those at the end of the class. They will make some noise. I don't know about girls, I don't know about boys, because when we were students, at the end of the class, they start shouting, "Oh, oh, this is fake! This is fake! They are doing this fake. I mean, fake. It's not real. They are laughing at the teacher, not at what at because of the joke, and so you have to avoid being joker. Don't be joker. Okay, this is number one. You have to avoid it because of the students. And number two, you have to be scared, afraid of gas followers. If you are joker, you have to be scared of gas followers. You know gas followers? كتبوها بالتعليق. If you know gas follower. So if you, gas follower, you should be careful from them. You should be scared of gas follower. Right? Do you know its translation?
رب الله.
So don't be joker. Yes, Mustafa.
Yes, I want to ask something about the telling of the joke. You said that you should be careful of how to telling the joke. So it is something related to our facial expressions, posture, gesture. We should be aware of these things when telling a joke to be a successful joke, to bring the joy actively, or to be a joker. If you did it in wrong way or wrong facial expressions, I think it is something important.
Yes, of course. This is what I said, that how to tell a joke,
How to
how to
express.
tell a joke,
Yes,
how to express a joke, how to tell a joke, the way
yes.
that you tell a joke, the way that you need to use your facial expressions, your hands, your body, everything, verbal and non-verbal cues. All these are related to
Mr.
telling jokes.
Mohammed,
And
this
I saw this with one of the students in practicum in Hamza. He's a good student and he's a good teacher now. He told a joke, but just the only person who laughed is this teacher. Okay, and no one knows that he is telling a joke. No one knows, but I focused on him and focused on his movement, because when I go to schools, I try to focus. My eyes are gazing at the students from top to toe. Okay, so looking at them, what they do, how they behave, how they act. So he just speaks with himself, and this is a big
so he was embarrassed. Embarrassed.
yeah, of course. But he tried to ignore it as if no one knows. He ignored it, but I don't ignore it. I am watching. I was watching. Yes, Emir, go on.
Yes, yes. At the time of the talk, when you want to explain a tough question or tough topic, it's that is the good time to make a joke, because you will get free the student and not make them be under pressure.
Of course, good. Especially with the topics that are tough, difficult. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Thank you
that's
so
all I
much.
have.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank
Who
you.
else? Yes, Mustafa Mohammed.
Yes, we talked about the importance of joy in the process of learning, but we didn't mention the scientific of view related to this topic.
So we
So
are waiting for you to mention them.
yes, okay. So I have prepared some theoretical points of view proposed by some scientists. One of them is Simon Weil, the French philosopher, who said that the joy of learning is as indivisible in a study as breathing and running. Where it is lacking, there are no real students, but only poor creature of apprenticeship who at the end of their apprenticeship will not even have a trade. So it is something will not give any benefit if there is learning without a job, without a joy. Moreover, Danny Brazil said that learning in a state of mind, and the students should be in a positive, joyful state. Students are joyful they will learn because they do not even realize that they are learning. So he completed that and give one of the points or one of the main points that give joys for students in a classroom. He said that one of the best way to get your student excited is to pay attention to their individual needs, because diversity in students' behavior and experiences inside the classroom is determined by social, cultural factors in the context of how they live and the physical factors in each individual. Thus, it is necessary for teachers, for us as teachers, to pay special attention in learning capacities and social situation and the difference in cultural, linguistics, physical, mental health. For example, a teacher can make group works and plan tasks to adapt different students' capacities, in which some are given the difficult assignments according to their physical, mental, social, linguistics capabilities, and the others who are the lower levels, you can give them the lower or the less difficult assignments to adapt with their situations, with their capacities, with their mental, with their health. The teacher also can they organize groups of pairs, of avoiding, for example, banning the students who have learning difficulties of those with those who has a lower, in order to avoid the conflict which may happen between them. Moreover, the teacher can also create diverse activities on the same topics to combine groups, pairs, and individuals. This is according to scientific points of view. Now I will talk about the points that I cited from some essays on the internet. One of them says that
Before you talk about this, I can add something to this.
yes,
We have a theory which is called ball coated theory. Ball coated theory. Have you heard of this ball coated theory?
what theory?
Ball coated theory.
No, unfortunately.
Okay. Ball coated theory. You know pill يعني هاي الحباية تبلعوها هاي علاج. It is pill coated theory. Pill coated theory, the cover of pill is sugary, is sweet.
Yes.
But what is inside this is what is bitter. So
Yes.
it is covered with sugar, sweet, and in order to what? To be able to swallow it. But inside it is what? Is bitter. If it is bitter, it will be not what? It will not be easy to be swallowed, to be taken by us. We will not take it. Try to avoid it because it is bitter. But because it is sweet sugar, so we swallow it. Here, the same thing that we're teaching through delight. Teaching is like what is inside this soul, okay?
Yes.
Inside teaching is bitter or not? It's not joint. For many students, many people, when they read, when they listen to the lecture, some of them are not getting fun or not enjoying the lecture. They just getting information, knowledge. So it is bitter. As I said, teaching is bitter. Reading books, writing, it is something bitter. But delight here, it is like delight. We cover it, like we cover the both. So teaching through delight, and this is we found this or find this in for example when for example characters on stage, like for example Adil Imam acting on the stage, all of us laugh, we laugh, but we have what? We have lesson. We have a moral lesson from Adil Imam when we look at his performance on the stage, the scenes. We have lesson. We know that it is sugary. We laugh, all of us laugh, but at the same time, what we have a lesson, bitter. This is what is inside. The same thing can be applied to teaching through delight. We teach which is bitter, but we try to make it sugary. We try to make it sweet by using these techniques, these things. As you mentioned, as you talked about this point that if we just teaching students, it will not be good for us as teachers, not good for the educational process. It will be boring. The same thing here. For pills, when you want to take these pills, if they are bitter, you will not be able. You may take one, but you maybe 2, 3, but not 4, 5, 6, 7. The same thing is here. Yes, Mustafa, go on.
Yes, Mr. Muhammad, I want to ask you about this point or this theoretical point of view of the writer when he said that to bring joy, try to divide the students in order to their capacities. So some of them that have higher capacities will be gathered in groups, while
Yes.
the others. So what the writer means here? So why this brings joy? What is the secret here?
Here, of course, when you are inside the class, you as teacher, students are not equal. Their performance, their personality. So here, try to what? Try to when you want to make groups, try to have a leader for each group. A leader
Yeah.
for each group. There should be what? There should be a leader that can lead this group. That one may say that if we have a leader, for example, we have five, one leader is good, the best of the five, he will do everything. No, he will not do everything. He will be cooperative. He will cooperate with others. They will all cooperate. One of them may say this, the leader may say no, this is in this way. The others say, oh, okay, yes, good, I agree with you, that's good, that's good. So you have to do in this way. You should not take all the good students, for example, Ahmed, Muhammad, Ali, Fatma, Hassan, Hussein, all of them perfect, you put them together. And you take, for example, other students, A, B, C, D, and put them together, and all of them not good. So you should make this variety. You should
Yes.
make this
Yes.
variety between the groups, okay, to make enjoyment, to make competition between the groups. For example, this group by Mustafa, this group by Qamar, this group by Khadija, this group by Dulfiqar, this group by Muhammad, by Fatma, okay, by Sajjad. Oh, Sajjad will look at Mustafa, at Al Bahar, at Fatma, Khadija, Qamar, all of you. Okay, imagine that this kind of enjoyment will be created inside the classroom. This is what the writer means by this.
By the way, Mr. Muhammad, I omitted or deleted some sides or dimensions from this theory. It is something interesting because it talks about the physical, for example. I omitted it because it contains some details. We could consider it as embarrassment or embarrassing. But the writer said, even when the students went to go to the toilet, for example, you should pay attention to their individual needs. Even these things, you have to pay attention for them.
Of
You
course.
have to. So I omitted them. Now, can I continue in other
Yes,
non-scientific? Yes, but
yes,
in brief.
yes,
Okay, in
anyway,
brief. Yes.
to give
For,
chance to others, maybe
for
others want to
yeah,
pass.
okay. The first one said that you read a class some jokes, short poems, or entertaining anecdotes. For example, if a teacher learning or teaching some vocabularies, he can tell his students something about the word, for example, nice. The word nice comes from, originally, I mean, comes from the word ignorant. Okay, so it is related to something, it is a tale. It is an interesting tale related to the word ignorant or foolish. For example, in this kind, the teacher can benefit from this in order to make the word remain in their minds, as well as at the same time, he will make them laugh. So by telling them an entertaining tale.
Good, great.
Yes, I have many points of view, but I will give the turn to my colleagues
Yes,
to debate.
maybe we will come back to you if no one speaks. Yes, thank you so much, Mustafa. Yes, Maha.
In a school to make joyful playing game in a school, in a classroom or in a school, and the games it's possible should be in target language for beginner, and give them a question and task that just challenging them enough, and give them vocabulary and target language, and they make them thinking about this. And avoiding judgment on a student, and don't call them lazy or not do work in the classroom, because make them not engage or not um, أنا بقول ما يتفاعلون بالدرس.
Yeah, well, it's clear when you say this will make them not engage with the
Yes,
class, with the teacher, of
yes,
course, and this will dismiss any kind of enjoyment inside the classroom when you punish your students, when you punish
yes.
them for every mistake they did. And I talked about this point in the previous section and said you have to what you have
Ask them,
to focus on achievement. Okay,
yes, but
their efforts.
yes, ask them and be curious. Ask them why do this, or why you don't understand the lesson or vocabulary. That is.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. So it is very important inside the classroom in order to make even enjoyment inside classroom. Sometimes you need to avoid certain certain behavior, certain things that you as teacher do inside the classroom. You as teacher sometimes you do certain things that make things bad. You bunch your students, yelling, shouting inside the classroom, so you will not have any chance to tell a joke. So imagine that you are shouting, 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 and at the end you want to tell a joke. They will all look at you in this way. You see? So it's very important to know every detail, everything. Yeah, thank you so much. Who else? Yes, Khadija.
I have addition to this material.
Hmm.
When your teacher use humor in classroom,
You mean a
not
glass?
try.
Like glass? I will bring a glass, not or glass.
No, classroom. I mean,
Yes.
I know we know that if we talk a joke or tell the student joke, that increase students' attention to study material. That's we know. But must the teacher be himself when he tell the joke, not try hard to to uh, to act something. When you act something, that joke not how can I say it, delivered by the student. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay.
Yes. Avoid negative humor things when we done a joke. Not that negative thing make them not laugh, but make them negative people.
Hmm.
Yes, that's why I yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes. Well.
Yes.
Well. What about others? You are teachers. What to do inside the classroom? خلينا نقلب جاي نقلب عليهم. What to do inside? Just but you have this preparation. Yeah. Light nose. What to do? موسى. You are good موسى. نور. هدى هدي. محمد لقاء قمر مريض الله رهان بالفقار خلدون حيدر. Yes. What do you think? Who wants to ask something? Who has opinion which is different from us? Who wants to disagree with us? Maybe someone wants to disagree with us. He says, I don't agree with you. One of the students in the morning class asked me that, is it okay to take 3 or 4 minutes to tell a story? I mean, or to tell a funny situation, to tell a joke? I told him it is okay sometimes. Sometimes, okay, no problem to make joke or to tell a funny story, to leave class, to leave the book aside for short period of time for 3 or 4 minutes. Because these 3 or 4 minutes, when you take advantage of these 3 minutes or 5 minutes, telling a story, telling something, situation, good situation, beautiful situation, funny situation, it will create a good atmosphere, relaxed atmosphere. You will make students focus more and more. They will be happy. It will break and change the mood. And I I talked about. I have seen a video, and I talked about this video. University. I don't know where the university, but it's not, of course, not in Iraq. And this university is near to the sea. Okay, near to the sea. Beautiful place, awesome place, great place. It's like paradise. The students have break. They have break for example, 1 or 2 hours. They go to the sea. They take lecture. They go to the sea. They come back again to the class. They ask the professor, why did you do this? Why did you do this? Why do you let your students go to the sea? Why it is near to the sea? Why this university is near to the sea? And you give your students breaks and go to the sea, dressing whatever they like to dress. He said that we don't give them break. This is not a break. This is part of learning. It is part of learning. When we give them a lecture at the beginning, when they give them a lecture, then the students will have time, for example, from 8 to 10. They have time from 10 to 12, for example, 2 hours. They will be comfortable. They will feel comfortable. They will be relaxed. Okay? They will be relaxed. They will be comfortable. They will go near the sea. Their mind will be good, will be okay. So, and when they come back to the class, they will understand well because they are comfortable, they are relaxed, no stress, no pressure upon them. So it is part of learning process. It is not something which is haphazard, something random. It is something intentionally. We do this intentionally for the sake of our students. We don't do it without any study. We do it just without any thinking. No, we think about this and we do it according to certain studies that we need to do this for the sake of our students. So sometimes it's okay. You see how much time they take for the whole classes, for the whole day. So it is okay for you as students inside the classroom to break class with 5 minutes. Unfortunately, many teachers speak a lot. They speak for half hour or 15 minutes or 10 minutes, speaking about their problems, about Iraq. They speak, maybe they exaggerate. It's okay sometimes to speak about certain situations. Sometimes, okay, to give students information, to make them know, but not. You should not exaggerate. Over exaggeration is something not preferable. Don't exaggerate. Don't exaggerate. Don't speak a lot. Try to speak when necessary, not every day. Maybe you need 1 week, 2 weeks, in a month. You speak about a point. You advise your students. Yes, advise them all the time. But you have to follow plan. You have plan. You have minutes. Try to follow them. Maybe you will get 3 minutes. Try to tell a story. Try to make some fun. Even when you call the names of students, when you call their names, For example, I come to names. I said Amir. Amir, for example, Amir, I said Prince Ali, for example, Tihaj, Happy, Arij, Ni'ma, Jabir, Jodef, مثلا Arij, we don't have this, or we don't have for English, for example, Hassan, Farhan, Hassan, Happy, Urgent, for example, just to make fun. You are not making fun of him, no, just you use his name and you translate his name, okay? Haidar Ali Hussein, Marhab, welcome. Oh, hi. You see, with all the students, when you call their names, sometimes, okay, you can use it even when you call their names. Okay, sometimes when you want to make fun. So it's not something easy. Teaching is difficult, so you have to be careful. All of us, we are still learning. We are learning new techniques. We are learning new ways inside the classroom, how to deal with our students, how to deal with different situations. We have to read more and more. We have to talk to each other. We as teachers talk to each other, get benefit from each other, talk to the mentors. I mean, those teachers who have experience, you have to talk to them. You have to do a lot of things. You should not only depend on yourself, and that's enough. Okay? It is something good that when you go to school and you have experience from others, you listen to others. You listen from them what the others say about teaching. It is very important. Yes. Who else do you want to ask something? Yes, Zulfiqar Saleh.
Sir, we mention only joke and laughing to break this seriousness. Seriousness. We can break it by use another chatting or another talking with the student.
No, we didn't only mention these things. We mentioned a lot of things. Your classmates, I sometimes commented on certain points. Sometimes because they are clear and easy, I didn't comment. Not only this, a lot of things are said by Amir, by Khadija, by Mustafa. Okay.
Okay, but we know if.
But they focus. But because of this importance, because these 2 points are important, telling jokes. Because some teachers think that they focus on this point, think that only telling jokes is the way to make fun inside the classroom, and the way of telling joke is not correct, it's wrong. So that's why I try to focus on this point, try to advise the teachers that you should not do this and this. You have to be careful when dealing with these matters. This is my point. Yes, I hope
as we know, if the student love the teacher, they already love the lecture. However, it was hard, and they will come hardness and more attention for the lecture.
Maybe sometimes not all students will love you. So if they don't love you, it means they will not learn.
That's depends on your personality and how you're dealing with them.
Sometimes students, if they love you, they will what? They will learn. Sometimes by force they will learn. Sometimes by being kind. Sometimes by being kind. Sometimes you are dealing with the schools, not university. You should not generalize. Here I'm talking about students at schools. Sometimes you need to be friendly, to be kind with them. Sometimes some students, because the students are different, not all the students are the same. Different personalities. You are dealing with different personalities. Some students, you have to be kind with them in order to make them your friends, in order to make them read and love you. Some of them, no, whether you are kind or you are harsh, they are good. And some you need to be harsh with them for their own benefit. This is my opinion. You may agree or disagree with me. It's up to you.
أستاذ بالعربي يقول لك اكسر واجبر.
This is what I mean. So,
Yes.
as I said, be kind but firm. I talked
Yes.
about this in the previous lecture. If you have seen the video, I said, be kind but firm. Sometimes you
Yes.
have to be kind, you laugh, you joke, but sometimes you have to be firm. This is what I mean. Sometimes you need to, with some students, you need to be friendly, but some students, you need not all time to be friendly with them. If you are friendly with them, it will be bad for you and for them and for all the class.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Mustafa Abbas.
Yes, there are many activities that teachers can make them to the students, not just telling jokes. No, maybe he can draw pictures
Yeah.
and let them pay their opinion and pay their attention. And
Yes, of
maybe there are many theories. There are international theories like the fun to learn that mentioned on the television or the internet. Fun to learn,
Yes, of course.
maybe. Like when little boys when you want to make them save a method, like when you tell them 1 plus 1, you will put 2 cars, car plus car. That's a picture of 2 cars. This
Yes,
will be more memorable in their minds.
of course. Yes,
Also,
that's different methods. Yes.
yes, also there are many activities, physical activities, doing some kinds of sports when some student put their hands on the shoulder of the next one to him and make some movements, and that will what will activate the blood circular in their bodies. Okay, that will refresh their minds
Yes,
to make
of course.
exactly.
Yes,
Yes,
of
that's
course.
what I meant.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
I want to focus on. There are many ways and methods we can use them, like using as we studied before, the ways of Kathy and Yoshi,
Hmm.
and the gestures and the pictures on the wall and the drawings on the board, 3 dots, etc.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes, Mustafa Abbas. Mustafa ya Muhammad.
Yeah, me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, the second point with me says playing an non-combative game. Funny game is a great way to build community and a sense of joy and playfulness among
Of
the
course,
students.
one of the most important points that playing
Yes,
games inside classroom,
yes,
dividing your students into groups and make them doing
yes,
team matters. Of course. Yes.
yes. Can I continue?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Continue.
Games build social skills, provide quick review of academic content, or be a mix of both. For example, if you are teaching literature, you can play a storytelling game in which you start the turn and the students will add a sentence. So you will get a short story throughout the team. So you can benefit from this to make the context or the course of study more easier and joyful.
Yeah.
Yes, there are other points, but I
Yeah.
leave
Go
it
on.
here.
Go on.
Okay. The second point says that smile more. Although it seems to some people or some teachers simple, but sometimes just forcing yourself to smile at your students can make you and the students relax as well as lighten the mood.
Yes.
So
It's
just
very important
smiling,
to smile. Smiling. Smiling and laughing.
yes,
Smile. Always it is said that smile. It comes from inside.
yes.
Okay. So you need to smile. Okay. At your.
Without joking, without laughing, just smiling, you can make the mood
Fine.
is so
Yes,
thin.
of course. This is what we mean by non-verbal, certain non-verbal behavior that you can do inside the classroom. Your
Yes,
facial expressions. You should not be frowning. You should not
yes,
be frowning.
yes,
عبس all the time. مثل واحد قاعد من الصبح وتجيهم وش تسوي لهم. No, you should be what? You should be happy. You should show, even if you are. So this is very important point I have to talk about. You know that we Iraqis, we all of us have problems. Okay, It is absolutely, there is no one in Iraq without a problem. All of us have not only one, maybe more than one, two or three. If you ask Iraqi person, an Iraqi person in the street, if I want to ask you how many problems you have, absolutely you will not say I have one problem. Or you will of course say we have two, three, four, five, a lot of problems. So all of us have problems. We also teachers, we are human, we are like you. Of course we have problems. So it is important to that what you as teachers, when you go to classroom, it is important to what? To put your problems, to put them aside, and what enters into class, enter to class without a problem. Okay, as if now I don't have a problem. You can enjoy, you can smile, you can talk with your students, put them aside. Don't think, don't think of them. You come to the class and you come on them in this way, and you are thinking of the problems, and you are nervous inside the classroom, you are yelling, you are shouting. Okay, not all the time. Yes, sometimes it's something psychological. Of course, sometimes you are out of your mood. Sorry. Of course, not all the time. You have to be, not all the time the teacher should be what? Should be smiling, laughing, should be good, should be interesting all the time. He's a human, of course, but all in all, generally speaking, you should be so. You should leave all your problems aside and come to class and behave naturally, as if you don't have a problem. You should look well. You should look happy. You should smile at your students. This is very important for you as teacher. Okay, don't go to your school. Oh, I have a problem. I have a problem. I have a problem with my wife. I have a problem with my husband, for example. I have a problem with my sister, my brothers, my friends. I don't have money. You are complaining. No, you have to leave complaining, because students do not care about your problems, do not care about your life. They care about themselves. They care about information. They want information from you. They come to you. They spend time. And effort. So they want to get benefit from you. They don't want to share your suffering, your problems. So you have to be smiling. You have to be what? Smiling all the time with your students. Yes.
Yes, as it is important to the teacher to be smiley or to smile, it is also important for the teacher to figure out what makes his students smile. Recognizing students is a huge part of bringing joy into your class.
You know that these matters are a lot. Yeah, if I comment on each point, we will finish tomorrow. But it is very important. You have to figure out. You have to know. Okay,
Yes.
what makes your students smile? What makes them laugh? What makes them look happy? It's very important. I will not talk a lot about this. Yes, go on.
Yes, relate the lessons to the real life scenarios. The teacher
Yeah.
can give the students the instruction and explain what she or he expects along with relating the assignment to the real world around them.
It's very important that you teachers try when you teach your students. You have to relate. You have to relate them to real world. Very important. They will not forget it. They will. It will be easy for them. They will not forget it. It will be fun for them to relate something from life, from real life. Okay, it's very important. This will make something fun, relaxed atmosphere, not something which is like, for example, something static, so something stable, something cannot be understood by your students. Try to bring something from real world, something easy to be understood. Yes.
Yes. Incorporate mastery in your lesson. Learning the most fun when it is surprising. Do not just disseminate information. Plug in mastery. Highlight the weird, unusual, unique. Ask questions. Start with a curious detail. that can only be addressed by dividing into background of the subject and throughout the clips, exploring it. Pose mastery at the beginning of the course and let your student work towards solving it throughout the term. You can your students, I will explain this point clearly. You can give your students something which is ambiguous, let me say in this, and let them search, let them interest in the topic, searching about in Google and other in books. So this is can make the lecture more interesting. This is one of the point. The other point says that participate in projects, stepping down to your students' level and actually participating in activity which you assign to them makes the students more engaged in the task because they feel that you are willing to be part of the activity.
Yes, you are part of them.
Of course. Laugh at yours, it is said. Share your passions. Show your students how you have fun. Passion is contagious. If you are having a good time, chances are your students will too. So if you have a good time, so you can't tell your students about these circumstances or these situations because they also have the same feelings and emotions. So there will be interaction between you as a teachers and your students because they feel you are just them. You are not a higher level. Of course, there is an authority for the teacher, but he can shows this sense of personality, of humanity when he lowers his level, so that the students will be more interactive and active in the class.
Yes, thank you
At
so
the
much.
same time, enjoyable.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, Sajjad.
Yes, I want to add an important point. Get to know your students, not only their names, but their interests as well. Show them your interest to let them know that you're not just a robot that gives lessons, but you're a human being just like them. Try to let them know more about you, like you started like them and you studied harder and learned more, depended on yourself and got help from the teacher until you got to this level. And when you give an example for when you want to give them a sentence, for example, make it related to their interests. Like if some students love football, make the sentences about football. If they love games, make sentences about games. Make everything in the lecture related to real life, related to their interests, so they will pay more attention.
Of course, of course. Try to make everything that's related to real life, what they like. For example, you are dealing with Iraqis. Of course, Iraqis love football. You are dealing with Indian, for example. They like, for example, rugby or something like cricket or something like that. If you are dealing with the Americans, they like, for example, basketball, etc. They like tennis. They like skiing. You have to know what they like. For example, if you talk with Iraqis about cricket, okay, or table, racket table, they will not share anything with you. They will not focus on what you are saying because they will focus. It is not their interest. They don't like it. So try to relate everything to real life. Try to relate to what students like. Yes, Sajjad, do you want to add, Sajjad?
No, that's it.
Okay, Amir, yes. 1 minute, Amir.
Yes. Yes. Don't make your lecture looks like it is on radio. Only voice, only reading. Should be like in TV. Make them acting. If there is a conversation in your lesson, should acting two students make a performance like acting on the stage. That will help them to remember things because they see it like a picture, not only voice.
Good,
Thank you.
thank you. Khadija.
I focus on points important. When me as a teacher make fun of student, we shouldn't ever mock or make fun of students, but sometimes what seems to be harmless joke or comment can own students' confidence and self-esteem. It's a great talent to be able to use humor in the classroom and also show students how to laugh at themselves. Just be careful that your jokes aren't aimed at a particular student in a personally harmful way.
Of course, of course. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you
May
so
I
much.
may I ask something for less than 30 minutes, Mr. Muhammad? May I?
30 seconds.
30 seconds, sorry, 30 seconds.
Was not
Okay, so, okay. We all mentioned the importance of jokes in the parts of the teacher, but we didn't mention the parts of the students. So my point says that laugh at your students' joke. It is one of the best way to ensure that teachers as well as students have fun. So as it is important for the teacher to tell joke and expects the students to laugh at it, he is also expected to laugh at the students' jokes.
the same thing, of course. Teacher, yeah. You said this, you or someone said that, you maybe, or someone said that the teacher should be part of students when they do something, when they do an activity, when they do something, when they tell something. You should be what? You should be good listener. Of course, you should be good. Now, like me, for example, I'm good listener for you. I listen to you, to everything that you say. That all of you are saying something, I'm listening to you. You have to be good listener to your student when he is explaining, when he is telling something, when he is telling funny story. You have to show him that you really like it. It is something good. You laugh. Okay, listen to me now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Electricity problem.
But when we are watching these days in schools, Mr. Muhammad, teachers
Yes.
do not permit any students to speak. They even do not listen to his points of view. They didn't give the students. This is the most important difficult problem in schools, in our schools in Iraq, especially in Iraq. They are rigid. They are so firm.
Not only this, we have so many problems in teaching in Iraq, by so many things that are done by teachers. They do it in a wrong way. I think, in my opinion, most of Iraqi teachers do not know their duty, do not know their job. What is teaching? They don't know teaching. They don't know anything about teaching. I'm sorry to say that some of them are not worth being teachers, do not deserve to be teachers. Okay, I don't want to be harsh, but some Iraqi teachers do not know their job. They don't know. You, as a teacher, you should be brother, father. You woman, lady, you have to be mother and sister to your students. Even when there is
Model.
model, of course, you have to be a model.
You always told you always tell about Mr.
When you
Muhammad,
have
I sorry for this very sorry for this interruption. I sorry. You always tell us about the importance of the plan and other things, but when we are watching teachers these days, there is no plan. He enters to the class and asks the students where we reached. So he didn't know anything about his class or his plan. He loses everything.
he or she does not know about teaching. He or she is careless. He
Yes.
or she, I mean,
I-
because teachers in general, women or man, most of them, not all of the Iraqi teachers.
No,
We are
not all. Of course, not all.
some Iraqi teachers are great. I know many friends, many Iraqi teachers. I know a lot of them who are very good, but most of them do not take any attention, do not focus on teaching. They think that it is kharbani, it is everything that is, it is klawat, it is bad. All students are bad. Teaching book is bad. Teaching is bad. We don't know. We are not responsible. Okay, I think that we don't know our responsibility. So that's why I always tell you that you have to be responsible. To know your job, to be a teacher is not easy. You have to make time and effort. You have to work a lot. You have to prepare well. It is not a matter of giving a lecture. Okay, it is not a matter of giving a lecture for minutes and go out. It's a matter of preparing well, going to class, knowing how to deal with your students, knowing how to teach your students. Try to be to show that you are good. Try to show that you are strong, and all these matters. So this is a bigger problem in Iraq in general. So it's not about one part. A lot of things that are wrong in Iraq. Certain things that are done in a wrong way. Unfortunately, we hope. That's why now why I focus on you. Why I make much more effort with you, giving you all these details, experience about teaching inside the classroom, in order to make you aware of what's happening inside the classroom. You have to be aware of what's happening inside the classroom, because you teachers, when you go to classroom, you have to deal with this situation. Imagine that you are now 50 students. When you go to classroom, how many students for each one of you? Maybe 100 multiply this 100 multiply 50 thousands we will have. So if you are good, I always say this, always say that it is everything is what is on the teacher's burden. Number one, teacher 80%, students 10, book 10. Teacher, if you teachers, if you are good, your students will be good. If you are not good, your students will be not good. You can make your students good. It is a school, especially those students, they are still young, they are not old, they are young. You can advise them, you can influence them by your words, by your advice, by your speech, using the words that are best fitted for them. So this is very important. And if we want to talk about these matters, we will not finish until tomorrow and after tomorrow. Thank you so much. Of course, there is no question. If you have any question, please. I will stop recording because it is long.